What's up, New York?
Hi guys, I love you so much. Go home.
Connor's late. He's coming. So finally, we're here.
Hey, where's your board? Where's your board? Where's your board? Fucking dead. That's where he is.
The biggest, baddest fight card in UFC history. First time ever in New York. UFC at MSG. Who has the first question?
Eddie,
Hi.
are you prepared to take down Conor McGregor?
I'm prepared to completely destroy Conor McGregor and silence this whole damn crowd. Thank you for coming.
The crowd isn't necessarily on your side. Is that going to affect you?
Excuse me?
The crowd isn't necessarily on your side. Is that going to affect you?
I got no problems with that. I'm smiling ear to ear. Look, Philly's right here. Philadelphia's right here. Hey, you got problems? You talk to Philadelphia. Hey, where's my opponent? Where's my opponent? Where's he at?
Okay.
Go ahead, sir.
My name is Ryan Gerbosi. I'm with Newsday. This question is for Joanna and Carolina. We've had a few big women's fights on major cards. You were on 190 with Ronda. You've been on a few big events too.
Hey, you got to put that mic right in front of your mouth, especially with
Don't
the
be
Irish.
afraid.
You've been on a few big events so far. We've had a few women's fights on big events. What does it mean for women's MMA and the growth of the sport to be on a big event and have 3 women's fights on this card?
I'm just very happy that Dana and UFC, they made the decision to bring female fighters to the UFC. And how you see, we can headline the shows, and I'm happy to be part of UFC 205. How I was very excited for 193 with Ronda Rousey and Holly Holm on the same card. So this show is going to be epic, and I will put on show.
And same question for Carolina.
I think women are really great fighters, and I am happy because I am part of UFC, and my dreams come true. I fight on UFC 205. Yeah, this is a great feeling.
This question's for Eddie. Eddie, what do you think of Conor McGregor not being here?
I'm gonna be honestly, I'm half Irish, right? I'm half Irish. I'm disappointed in the country of Ireland right now that this is their representative. This is your representative. Where is he? Where is he?
Hey, this is on TV. Calm down. Go ahead, sir. What's your question?
I'm Robert Exley, New York City News Service. My question's for Woodley and Wonderboy. It's no secret that you guys don't like each other. Is this going to be a rivalry going forward? Can we expect you guys not to like each other after the fight's over?
Nah, man, I've always expected, whoever I face, always have respect for. This is going to be a tough fight. So, I'm here to put on a show. I know he is as well. So all respect to Tyron.
Tyron?
Man, I'm just here to make history.
Just a question for Eddie Alvarez over here. Eddie, I know you said that the mental game won't affect you, but when you see a crowd like this, when you see a situation like this, is it hard not to become emotional going into this fight?
I don't understand shit they say. They're from Ireland. I don't understand a goddamn thing they say. They don't even know their numbers. They say 13. I don't even know what that shit is.
A lot of people are saying that you're going to have a strategic approach to this fight, but if this does get in your head, is there a chance that you may end up in a position where you guys just slug it out and you abandon your game plan?
Who knows? Hey, who knows? I don't even know what I'm going to do. So, you know what? I don't even have an opponent. I'll see you guys tomorrow, okay? Yo, when he comes, you give me a call.
Dan Shapiro from the Huffington Post. Question for Tyron Woodley. Tyron, you've continued to be the underdog according to the betting line going into most of your fights. Why is it, do you feel, that you haven't been getting the respect that you deserve as the champion?
Let me let them finish up real quick. They over there lit. I don't worry about the rankings, man, or the underdog. I'm the world champion. You know, people can have me as an underdog all they want. I go out there and I prove them wrong every single time.
And on Saturday night, you have the opportunity to join the ranks of a lot of great combat greats like Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier. Where do you think that this places you with a win over the Wonder Boy?
I think that puts me on the shelf with the best. You know, that's the most important part to me. Fighting the MSG, fighting where the greats fought at, going out there and putting on a dominant performance and making history.
And then just one question for Dana. Dana, you've been with this company for 15 years. You've worked with these fighters for many years through many shows. How have you seen their focus change now that they're on the stage in New York as opposed to the normal shenanigans sometimes?
Well, obviously, this is not like any other fight. This is a massive, enormous show. And but so far, everybody's, you know, it's just like any other show. These guys are obviously, you know, ready to go. And tomorrow night's going to be a special moment when they walk out into Madison Square Garden. It's a big deal, and but these guys are going to perform just like any other night, I'm sure.
This question is for Tyron. Keith Creed, Fox Sports Radio. Tyron, it seems that since you've won the title, the fan appreciation hasn't been there, and you've done everything in your ability and your power to kind of convince them that you are a worthy champion. At what point do you say, you know what, to hell with it, I'm just gonna do me for me. If you like me, that's cool. If not, I'm still gonna beat everybody in my way.
At the end of the day, I'm the same person. I'm the same person. Go ahead. Let's make a beat to it. Boo. Boo, boo, boo. Boo. Boo, boo, boo. Y'all going? Where y'all at? I thought y'all was booing. Let's make a beat to it. Because that's all I'm gonna do Saturday night. I'm gonna make a beat, I'm gonna beat this boy like a drum, and everybody that's booing is gonna stand up and be applauding at the end of the day.
Dana, this question. Dana?
Yes.
Over here.
Sorry, I'm distracted.
Yeah.
Yes.
Connor?
I'm not even gonna be quiet so Dana can speak?
Connor isn't
straight
here
up.
yet. Eddie just left. Does this piss you off at all?
Connor's here. He's here. He's coming. No. No, it doesn't piss me off. You know, this is fighting, man. It's wacky, crazy. It's a crazy business.
Have you started to think maybe tell Connor the wrong time for these things, maybe a half hour earlier?
Yeah, but he'd see it on the internet anyway, and he'd know, so there's no getting around it. He's here.
Robert Exley, New York City News Service.
Go ahead.
I had a question for Eddie, but he walked out. So do you have any plans for Nick Diaz in the near future?
Plans for Nick Diaz? No, nothing yet. No, there's no fights lined up for Nick Diaz.
209? Will 209 be in Stockton? That's the next one.
Daniel, have we got anything special planned production-wise for Saturday night? Obviously, we had live music performances of 189 and 200. We had a yellow mat. Anything for Saturday?
No live performances on Saturday.
What about Conor now?
We got 3 title fights on Saturday and a stacked card full of nasty dudes. You know, this is the biggest, most stacked card we've ever done. When you have 3 title fights, there's only so much time in a pay-per-view window. We're just worried about the fights on Saturday night.
What about Conor now? He's obviously late again. What happens? Does he get fined or?
You you know, I'm in such a good mood, man, for this event. Listen, it is what it is. He's going to be a few minutes late. He's in the building right now. He'll be up here.
John Morgan, MMA junkie. Dana, how do these conversations go, though, with Conor? I mean, you said in the past he's got to start learning to respect everybody's time and be on time. So how do these conversations go?
You got the what?
How do these conversations go with Conor when he's not on time? I mean, you're promoting the biggest event in company history and you don't have your biggest star. How do those conversations go with him?
He's going to be here. He'll be here. How do these conversations go? He'll be here. He's coming.
Hey, Dana. It's Pete Hoffman with WFAN. How you doing?
Hey.
You can see that the crowd is really into 205. Saturday can't come soon enough. You just announced 209 is going to be at Barclays in February. What's the likelihood, like Nevada is the home of UFC, but what about New York being like the secondary home for UFC? Well, how about that?
Well, you know, it's been a long time coming. We've been waiting for a long time to get in here. We're here. We said when we got here that obviously all the support we got from MSG, these guys have been fantastic since day one in helping us get here. We're going to go all over New York. We're going to go, you know, the city. We're going to go out to Albany and Buffalo and Syracuse. We're going to travel all over New York. So, yeah, we're going to be here a lot over the next couple years.
Hey, Dana, to your right. Dana, to your right, here in the back. I was just curious if you can kind of put in perspective what you think this is going to do pay-per-view-wise. I know when we talked about Ronda's comeback fight, you said you thought it could be the biggest pay-per-view ever.
Yeah.
Given the fight you have in the main event and the two other title fights you have now, do you think that this pay-per-view could even remotely approach Mayweather and Pacquiao?
Well, obviously, the Mayweather-Pacquiao number is ridiculous. You know, that number was massive. Never seen anything like it. And we obviously first time in New York and with such a sick card. I mean, the countdown show that we did the other night on Fox did 2.4 million viewers for a countdown show. Embedded the first episodes at like 1.3 million. The numbers are huge, so looking good.
Dana, right here. You mentioned coming to 209 in Brooklyn and coming back to all over the store, but Madison Square Garden has such an iconic history in combat fighting sports. When you do come to MSG, is the goal always going to be to put on a huge, significant event like this?
Yeah, well, we always try to put on the best events we can, you know, every time we do an event. It's all a matter of timing, who's injured, who's not, who's next, what's going on. There's a lot of factors that go into a card, but this build-up for New York's been so long and so big, and the first time at MSG, I just wanted to hit it out of the park for this one. And thank God, not only did you know, everything stay together. We lost Rashad, you know, and Tim Kennedy, but the card has pretty much stayed together, which lately is impressive for that to happen.
Wonder Boy, right here. Are you annoyed at all that Conor McGregor can't make it here on time? Speaking of the devil.
Here he is.
Sorry I'm late, I just don't give a fuck!
Conor, this question's for you, Conor. Conor McGregor. Conor, where have you been?
I wonder how much a chair would have cost me.
Connor, while you were on your way here, Eddie said he was disappointed in the country of Ireland. What do you think about that?
I don't give a fuck what Eddie says. Who gives a fuck? The Irish are back. We've taken back control of New York City. I run New York City. I'm a fucking pimp. Rocking Gucci mink. And without me, this whole fucking ship sink.
Robert X.
Just had a 5-round battle with Nate Diaz in a short turnaround. Are you ready for this fight?
I'm fresh, ready to go. I look forward to it. I'm gonna shut this man up. Trust me on that.
Robert X. New York City News Service. My question's for Eddie. My question's for Eddie Alvarez. Khabib has said that he hopes you win the fight, so because you won't duck him if you win. Do you have any ideas on what's next for you if you do beat Conor?
After I beat Connor and silence the country of Ireland, I'm gonna have a couple pina coladas. You have to look for me somewhere.
And Conor, I have a question for you. Is there any truth to the idea that you want to retire after this fight, or are you going to take time off?
I'm only warming up. He's gonna have to. Take all them belts. I'll take all them belts over there.
Hey guys, question for Conor. Conor, you're here, everybody's excited. Just curious, where were you? Why the lateness?
I operate on my time. I operate on my own time. And I'm running early on my time.
It's a huge event here at UFC 205. Prior to UFC 202, you said your legacy is set in stone after Jose crumbled. What does this fight mean for your legacy?
This just puts it even more in stone. That second belt, never been done. No one's even came close. No one's even attempted it. So that's it. My legacy, I'll be immortalized after this one.
Couple of questions for Eddie. Eddie, what's your reaction to Conor coming in and taking your belt? And also, are you aware that the belt that you took is actually Conor's?
I think he's a little bit on tilt. He's a bit flustered, you know? Conor looks distracted to me. I think Conor's having two kids, and his girlfriend's not having twins, so you do the math.
It has me feeling all kind of ways.
Also, last question for Eddie. You've spoken about how you want to go in there and you want to expose Conor McGregor and show everybody that Santa Claus isn't real. Is a win enough for you in this fight, or are you looking to make a specific statement?
No, I came for an apology from him. I want an apology for saying my wife and kids.
Suck these big Irish balls.
Hey, if you don't apologize, then I'm going to make them beg. I'm going to give you a chance to apologize. You apologize to me.
These big Irish balls all in your face.
Then it's done.
Question for Tyron. Tyron, when Conor McGregor said that he wants all the belts on the table, you kind of gave him a bit of a look. Give us your reaction to when you heard that. What went through your mind?
I want all the what belts? All these belts?
Yeah, he pointed to the belts and said he'll take all the belts.
I think he's talking about Eddie's belt.
Conor, just to clarify, would you ever move up to welterweight and try and get a third belt if you could?
All the belts.
Tyron, your response to that?
Hey, we punching a way different power in this weight division. Pack a lunch, brother.
A question for Conor over here. Conor, if you can reiterate for us, what do you plan? I know you don't want to talk about the future too much, but you said at the initial press conference that they're going to need an army to get rid of the second belt. UFC continues to say that you're going to have to do something. Has there been further discussions about what you will do if you become a two-time champion?
I'll army up, and then I'll see what kind of army they bring, and then we'll go from there. We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Okay, and you also said recently that you're not very interested in fighting in Nevada anymore. Now that Pat Lundvall is no longer on the commission, A, are you sticking to that stance? And B, did you have anything to do with her leaving?
You know, I don't know about the whole Pat Lundvall situation that she got sacked a day after giving the biggest money man in Las Vegas history a fine that's going to keep him out of sea. I don't know whether that is the reason why she got the sack. I don't know, but look, I'll see. Who knows? I fucking love this place. I know that. I know that. So we'll see.
Okay, and a question for Eddie. You said not that long ago that, when you were coming up, you had a board in your house about things that you dreamed of. Your family put up their favorite toys, a new kitchen. You wanted the $1 million fight. A, are you confident that you're going to get that in this fight? And B, what does this represent, considering you've been dreaming about this moment
I'm
for
just
so
glad
long?
to be at MSG, glad to be at home, glad to have the opponent I have in front of me. I'm blessed right now. I'm blessed, man. I'm at the top of the world.
Hey, Dana. Michael Landsberg from TSN. Connor, I wanted to ask you, Dana got between the two of you. You grabbed the chair. It's easy
Needed one, because he fucking needed one, that's why.
Okay, so...
You see me grab a chair?
I didn't see you grab a chair.
That's all I had.
Okay, hold on one sec. So, Connor, if Dana's not there, what are you going to do?
Not a fucking thing.
Bounce it off his fucking head.
Dana, I know the WWE has dealt with chair shots. Are they allowed?
Chair shot would be very bad.
I think what he said.
Very bad. Chair shot would be very bad.
There's no way they can find me for that.
And how about you, Eddie? If he comes across, are you going to get it on right now?
What's that? Yeah, we're going to fight. Look, I came to New York to fight. We're going to fight. Whenever he's ready, we're going to fight.
Nobody's getting across.
Well,
I got my man
I was
behind me.
about to say, you're a little late with your man there. Was that staged?
Brian Campbell with Connor. Brian Campbell with ESPN.com. Look, Connor, there's been a lot of talk about this special announcement that you're teasing for Saturday night. Can you give us a preview of it right now?
Don't worry about it. Just buy that pay-per-view twice.
I can tell you what a special announcement is if you guys want to know what it is. You want to know? No? Okay. You want to know?
Connor, if you can't tell us about an announcement, bro, can you tell us about that coat?
Yeah.
Gucci Mink. This is what confidence looks like. Serious. This is what big Irish balls look like.
Connor, we know you love New York. What have you been doing? Describe your typical day in New York. I know you're driving around in a Rolls Royce.
2 rolls. The second rolls came. We had 1 rolls custom made, and then the second rolls came today. 1 rolls for each gold belt. I've been just driving around embracing the city. The city has treated me amazingly. I walk out. I'm in my own little spot, and then the spot where they're all staying is empty. The fans are all outside my spot. So they've been showing me a lot of love. I've been driving around, having fun, training, shopping, just living my life, preparing for another contest. This is what I do. It's the Mac life.
Great. And Eddie, what do you think that announcement's going to be?
Connor's having 2 kids, and his girlfriend is not having twins. So you guys do the math.
Ahmad here from WWP. The notorious Conor McGregor, Mr. Mac. What are you predicting for this fight? You knew it was coming.
I predict I rearrange his face. He's too easily hit. Through all the talk and through all everything else, he can be hit too easily. It's happened to him his whole career. And when you're talking about somebody with the precision I have, I'm gonna hit him. He's gonna fall. Maybe if his toughness holds up, he'll survive. But then his face will begin to be rearranged. So that's what I predict.
What round, Conor?
Again, I think 1 round. If he can hold out and he can drag it into the trenches, I'll take my hat off to him. But he'll never be the same after if that is the case.
Isaac Feldman with WFN, CBS Sports Radio. Once again, Dana, thank you for bringing the UFC to Madison Square Garden, man.
Thank you.
So, Connor, I don't know if you heard, UFC 209 is at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. Assuming you keep your prediction, is there a possible Nate Diaz trilogy match at UFC 209?
You know, possibly. Who knows? But I'm the most active guy up here, and that's a fact. So, we'll see.
All right, Tyron. T. Wood. What's up, man? Love what you've been doing in your community. Appreciate you putting on great fights. How do you expect the fight to go with Stephen Thompson?
Steven's a puzzle, man. We took a long time trying to figure out the puzzle. Brought in some great guys for training camp. I'm just excited to go out there, man, put on a great show.
Question for Eddie.
Go ahead, sir.
Eddie over here, down the cameras. Mark LaMonica from Newsday. You've been working with Mark Henry now. Tell me, what is it about it that's been clicking with him? What makes it
Working
click?
with him a week. He's working with him 2 weeks.
Look, Mark's the best coach in the game.
2 weeks he's training with him.
This guy got 2 jiu-jitsu coaches. Nobody knows why. But Mark's the best in the game, bar none. No one's better. And on Saturday night, our preparation, our plan is set. The execution is upon you all. And you're all about to see it.
What about the Black Zillions? What happened with them? Were they not good enough or what happened with that?
No, exactly. You know exactly where I'm at all times. You know where I am.
Saying I touched you with the Black Zillions, and then you're with this new guy, and this new guy's the best guy. What happened to the last guy? That's all I'm asking. What happened to the last guy? No?
Hey, where's John Kavanaugh? Why you got 2 jiu-jitsu coaches? Why you got 2?
I've one jiu-jitsu coach and many training partners. That's a
that
good one,
bad.
but I've been with my coach since day one.
Shit's that bad.
You've been with your coach 2 weeks.
Your coach is an author. He's an author of a book.
Best-selling book. We do it all. We do it all. It's a bestseller. We're not there, baby.
Go ahead, sir.
A question for Conor McGregor. Conor, you changed your preparations coming up to the Nate Diaz fight to go 5 rounds against Nate. You're saying this fight is going to be over in 1, possibly 2 rounds. How have you prepared for this fight? Will you be ready for 5 rounds if Eddie's up for it?
Yeah, of course. I certainly believe in my shots. I believe in everything I have here that I will put this man away. But I am prepared for the 5 rounds. I kind of hope it is 5 rounds because they've discussed the cardio as an advantage on his side when I completely disagree on that. So if he can make it into the trenches, we'll go there and we'll see. But I am prepared for 5 rounds. We'll see.
He gassed out holding the chair. You guys see it? He gassed out right over here 2 seconds ago.
Just one last
question. Gassed out.
Hey, that was me. I gassed out.
Just one last question, Conor. You got to hold the 2 belts there for a few minutes. How did that feel?
It felt very familiar. I've been 2-weight world champion a long time now. It felt familiar to me.
I've got a question. Hi, it's Karen Bryan.
Hold on. Karen, it's not working. Go ahead.
Oh, it's
Try
not,
it again.
okay,
there you go.
Karen Bryan from MMA Heat. Conor, I have a question for you. You know, you talk about the belief in yourself, the lack of doubt. Was there a moment in any of your fights in particular, though, that really sealed that for you? Was it maybe the second fight with Nate? Well, what was it? Was there one moment where you even surprised yourself and said, damn it, I'm better than I thought I was?
I looked in the mirror this morning. I was like, damn, I'm better than I thought I was last night. I don't know. All these fights are learning experiences for me. They're very, very enjoyable. I feel I learned. I'm very happy RDA pussied out the first one when I was supposed to get the second belt. I would have knocked him clean out, like I said. I'm very happy that I was taken on that detour with Diaz. I got to learn about myself. I got to evolve and go to that next level of my training and of my mental belief. And here we are now as a new version of myself once again.
Eddie, I would have the same question to you, Eddie. Is there a moment in your career, was there one fight in particular that you knew you could take it all the way?
I think every single fight, you learn a little bit more about yourself as a champion. But I think it's when you get your belt taken away and you're no longer a champion, I think that's when you grow the most. That's when you find out the most about yourself. I've been a world champion. I've fought the best in the world. And I've always learned, always grew.
And last question is both for Tyron and for Stephen. Tyron, you are, the other day it was about a 2-1 underdog in the fight. You're a man who knocked out Robbie Lawler. You are the champion. Are you surprised at all by the fact that you're the underdog in this fight? And Stephen, how do you feel about being the favorite?
Fights aren't fought on paper, so the odds can say whatever they want. I've been an underdog 5 of my last 6 fights. I have the fastest finish in welterweight championship history. At the end of the day, 5 of my 6 victories have been by finish. So I'm just going out there to fight and make history.
Same thing, you know. I don't think about who's, favored, who's not favored in the fight. I just go out there and focus on what I need to do out there Saturday night and try and put on a show for you guys out here. So I appreciate it.
And last question is both for Tyron and for Stephen. Tyron, you are, the other day it was about a 2-1 underdog in the fight. You're a man who knocked out Robbie Lawler. You are the champion. Are you surprised at all by the fact that you're the underdog in this fight? And Stephen, how do you feel about being the favorite?
I just want to
Gareth Davis, Daily Telegraph. Question for Dana, first of all. Dana, obviously you know your boxing history, and Rocky Marciano, Lennox Lewis, Evander Holyfield, Mike Tyson, all the guys that have fought here. Obviously Lorenzo's left the company now, and Mark Ratner worked so hard with you. Can you just put into context what it means to you on a personal level, what it means to that kind of phalanx of men you've worked with and the women to get this event here and finally be here?
Yeah, not just all the boxing events, but all the events, period. I mean, Madison Square Garden is probably the most famous arena on earth. And, to be here, to hold the first event here, and like I said, when this goes down on Saturday night, when everybody starts walking in and the fights start to, happen, it's going to be awesome. I rarely look around and take it in, because we're going 100 miles an hour, but you better believe I will on Saturday, for sure.
And you've had your own fight to be here, haven't you? So it means a lot more.
Yeah, well, the fight was ridiculous to get here. It's just, it should have never happened. But at the end of the day, it made it bigger. It made it a bigger event. It made it more special, and I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change it at all.
And a question for Conor. Good afternoon, Conor. Looking fantastic in the mink. What does it mean to you? We've seen the Irish hordes, the brilliant fans that travel with you to Vegas all those times.
And they're still here with me today, and I'm very, very grateful for that. Blown away. It keeps me coming here and showing up and putting on a performance for my fans.
Does it do something extra special to you? You've talked about the electricity that you felt just working out in here yesterday.
It ran him off the stage before I got here. It does a hell of a lot.
And how much does it give you that these guys drowned out your opposition in America? Thank you.
My opposition seem to be talking shit all the time, so I'm happy with it. Keep doing it.
I'm going to take 2 more questions. Go ahead, sir.
Question is for
You're
Conor.
next, brother.
Conor, before you won the belt from Jose in December, you seemed to basically break him before the fight even happened mentally. How would you evaluate Eddie in the lead up to the fight, him sort of withstanding your own mental game?
Yeah, I feel he's damaged goods. I mean, his career, he's been damaged big time, but looking at him, he's aged. He looks a bit gaunt. Yeah, I'm very happy with it, but at the end of the day, we go in there and we fight, and the shots will land regardless of whether he's feeling good or feeling bad. And my shots do damage, and that's it.
And then, Eddie, you were supposed to be here 4 years ago. If not for some contractual issues, you were going to headline a UFC card for the lightweight title. Now that you're here 4 years later, what have you learned over the last 4 years, and how have the fights with Gilbert and with RDA and with Pettis helped you prepare for this fight with Conor?
I've always been the underground king of this sport. I've always been the UFC champion, whether I was here or not. It just was a matter of time before I got here, and I got this belt, and no one's getting it from me.
Go ahead, buddy. Yeah.
Question for Conor. Carlos Contreras from Mexico City, from Milenio. Conor, if you manage to achieve your goal of having the 2 belts, and you said you're going for the whole belts in the table, would you like to go to the 170 next, or to defend 145 or 155?
Yeah, I'm trying to live in the moment right now. This is such a historic event. So much going on in the city, so much buzz. I mean, I'm just trying to enjoy it and embrace it. I'll get the 2nd world title, raise them up consecutively, enjoy the moment, and then we'll go from there.
And lastly, question for Eddie. Eddie, you've been the underdog pretty much in all your fights here in the UFC. How much is this fitting you, this hostility from the fans?
I love it. I love these guys. I'm actually going to take a picture of these guys right here. I love you guys. Sad group of people right there. Thank you.
All right, so we're gonna rip this stuff out of here. Gonna square these guys off for photo ops. Listen, I can't thank you enough, New York. We're finally here. Saturday night's gonna be awesome.